Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Try to not have the tendency to move so quickly from one thing to the next because you prioritize speed of finishing tasks over everything else in the beginning. It's like you could trap yourself. And this is a high level mindset thing that I think is the base, to answer your question, is the base first thing to start with. If someone was to say, I just want to do better than what I've seen everybody else do, or I'm trying to break through to something new. I don't want to just be the status quo. I don't want to just have this happen on accident. I want to do the things that will help me improve the most and have a great career instead of just stumbling on it.
Yeah.
My version of stumbling was just do, and never really, in the beginning, never really stop to think why, just do. Oh, this is important. Do. Learn everything about it. It was fairly successful. It's better when you think about it and have a strategy.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, if I said, go listen to episode blah, 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 whatever this one's going to be first, I would say adopt a continuous learning mindset and take the time to learn things through and pull the lessons out of them that matter to you. Because what matters to you is what's going to get the most effort from yourself.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's good.
That's what I would say to do. So if you're starting at an engineering firm, it's your first job, you're going to do everything that you can to learn as much as possible about the thing that's in front of you. And you're not going to just try to get to the next thing because you think, oh, this should only take a new person an hour. Spend 4 hours on it. And then come back to it the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. Don't just shovel things behind you because you want to be this efficiency machine. Learn, really learn, pull out the lessons, what matters to you and what matters moving forward, and do those things.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes back to that whole aggressive patience thing, right? Just really work hard and can learn as much as you can and, continue to try new things that matter to you. But you have to give it time to see the benefit of that effort, right? You can't just expect it to happen immediately, because it takes time for you to get good at whatever you're trying out, for one, right? Because you have to go through repetitions to be very proficient at something. But also it takes time for people to notice. If you do something once, you might get a pat on the back, good job, for one iota of the year. But after that, people will forget. But if you're continually, having these wins, and I'm not talking about like these large project successes. I'm just talking about, you had a great presentation, you delivered a task on time, But if you do it consistently over and over and over, that's when people start noticing, and that's when you can get other larger opportunities, whether it's career advancement or better projects or whatever it may be. But you have to continually learn, continually practice executing on what you've learned. And then eventually you will find success in whatever that is. But you have to have aggressive patience.
If you keep shoveling tasks by, you're going to be hailed for that. And you're going to be rewarded. And people are going to say you did a great job. And the business is going to benefit from that. You will be hurting yourself at the same time, because if all you do is shovel tasks
and it's that singular thing
at the benefit of the business, and you haven't pulled any lessons out of it for yourself, for your skill set, for when later, regardless who you're working for or you're working for yourself, you can pull from those lessons to increase the likelihood that you get the outcome that you want in whatever you're pursuing. So I don't know if that's clear enough. You can be a great employee and the business thrives and you learn nothing. That can happen. Don't let that happen. It's very it's very rewarding in the beginning and kind of like fulfilling because you're doing so much work and people are like, man, you're just a machine. And you do these calcs so fast over and over again. And we make tons of money on this repetitive process. It's so great. What are you learning though?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So just be watching out for that. That's why I say take things through to the end. And it's never been easier. And of course, we all say that. But like truly, my old advice, like pre-2020, would be do this, but look out. You know, you can't spend a bunch of time. You got to be completing things. You've got to be having those outcomes, driving those outcomes for the business on a timely fashion. Whatever your manager says, oh, we got to do this by in 2 business days. It has to be done. So you couldn't just take 2 days to chase something down that rabbit hole and really learn the inner workings of it and go, oh man, for whatever I'm doing next, I can pull that lesson that I just learned from this by going off for 2 days to learn it into anything. It's going to be super valuable, but you couldn't because you needed to get it done, right?
Yeah.
But today, that balance is not so hard anymore. You can turn right to your other monitor and you have GPT 5.1 open and you're just asking why, like I have a base prompt for whatever you're doing to peel all the layers back. Why is this important? How do we know it's important? When is it important? What are the parts and pieces? Break this down into the fundamental concepts 1, 2, and 3 that are the highest priority and why we actually do this. Why is this important? And I'm working on load calculations for a service right now. Enter. Let it think for a while. Then you go back to your job. Push things out, blah, blah, blah. 10 minutes later, it comes back to you with a whole list of things. Why, at a fundamental level, did this make it into the code book? Why is it important? Who should know this? At what depth should they know it? What are the key factors? What's the leverage that lives in this task? What is this? And then you can read all about it and chase it down. And you've shortcutted. Instead of going to find a book, gotta go, find that colleague that's willing to talk to you, that's not busy, that can frame it in a way that makes sense to you. You've got this personalized thing, this agent sitting there waiting for you to ask these questions, and it will talk to you like how you understand it in short. Mm-hmm. So my advice today is to have that partner open all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're working on something, you're having it work on explaining it to you in the way that you understand, no matter what intelligence level you're at, education level. Explain to me like I'm 5 so that I understand the bare bones, and then let's move towards college educated. Then let's move towards PhD. Then let's move towards theoretical physics. Let's move towards this level of and then you're learning the skill set at this while you're getting the job done. So it's this continuous learning and peeling back why, because as soon as you can understand why the hell this is important, why have engineers done this for 100 years? Well, I'll tell you why, and it'll break it down for you. Then you can carry that forward without having to do a year's worth of the same thing over and over again, and serendipitously going, oh, aha, and having those moments. You just fucking force them. You just build them into it. Day 1, baby. I'm doing this low calc. What does it mean? Why? And it explains everything to you.
Yeah.
And that's very contextual to these days,
Yeah. So I think just to concisely summarize what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is knowing the what and the how will allow you to find success in the job and the task at hand. But understanding the why will allow you to take that and apply it elsewhere.
Yes. And you should do that as much as you can, because that will build it within yourself. You're building value for the business, but you're also, more importantly, building value and skill within yourself.
Yeah.
So that you could take it anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like when we all went through school, right, we saw the foundations of this, like in, like say a physics class, right? We would go through like, hey, here's the, launching a cannonball scenario, right? Like that was a real popular one. Here's the equation of why it worked, or to calculate where that ball lands with this much force, blah, blah, blah. And then the professor, or first you'd be like, oh, that's great. Now I can calculate that. Okay. So why is that important? Right. So the professor would usually go into the proof, like here is why. And then they would do this long drawn out equation and all this explanatory stuff, right? Of why this equation works for this scenario, and then how you can apply it elsewhere. And then the test had a completely different thing that required that same thought process, right? So
or was like opposite.
yeah.
So, and what's knowing why is important. Knowing where the holes are, or knowing where this doesn't apply, or knowing the drawbacks of doing this certain thing, or where this thing can get you into trouble. Are there limits to where this applies? You know, so you're learning a thing. We're getting kind of in the weeds here, but
Yeah.
you're learning this thing. This process that we're learning can't apply to everything, or maybe it partially does, or maybe it's the exact wrong thing to do in these certain scenarios, and you can build that into your prompt and have it and have it break it down for you and tell you where is this most misapplied. Because if I'm going to do these calculations for the next year straight, because I'm so good at them, and everybody wants me to do them because, man, we've just found this person that can just push these things out. It's like, okay, so what am I missing because I'm so focused on this one thing? Where does this one thing I'm doing fit in to another process that where this is only 1% of the effort, or of the, you could skip it. You could skip this and it wouldn't change the outcome too much. Oh, well, where does that apply? That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where does this become so negligible that it doesn't matter? But where does it become so important that it is the most important thing? Learn that.
Yeah, and why?
Yeah. So that you can fit all these pieces together. I tell you, the biggest step function growth in my career was always connecting dots after the dots had been laid out. But it was so confusing because the dots were fucking everywhere. And there were so many of them that if you didn't take the time to look back and see where things fit, that you couldn't connect all the dots. And when you connect those pathways, it just elevates you to a completely new level, because you can be in rooms where people are talking about completely different concepts, but you can pull and connect all these dots together and go, this fits here, and I'll tell you why. And I don't know if we've thought about it yet, but this is going to be something that is worth looking into, or, you know, whatever, solve some massive problem.
I mean, how do you think new equations or new theories come out? It's from that exact process, right?
There are so many things going on with so many different people. Yeah. And some of the biggest things have been, pulling all these ideas together and going, if we arrange it this way, holy shit,
it just works.
It's something, this is something amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to wrap that whole thing up, continuously learn, follow things through past the point at which you just get it done because it's part of your job. Like, go farther than that. And it's never been easier to do it today. And in fact, it changes my whole approach. And if I could go back and tell myself, well, you can't, right? There's always a new level. It's like, I was thinking, what if I could go back and tell myself all of this when I started? Well, is it applicable to when I started?
Absolutely.
Maybe not.
I think so.
Well,
no,
in the same way.
No, but you can in the beginnings of our careers, you could take out AI and insert, the most senior engineer at your firm, right?
Yeah, senior. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's the resource and that you can pull from. There's also a lot of like books out there that would have some of this thought process too. Now that would take a lot more time because it's not AI. You can just go enter.
Yeah.
But that ability to do that process was still available for us. It just wasn't AI driven. We had Google.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But there's always like, Jake 10 years from now is going to be like, man, I wish I knew this back then, but I was on my path to learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, how do you get there first, right? Or the quickest in your reality is to have that mindset of continuous learning and curiosity, right? To go, I wonder how this works, and just dive into it and look and figure it out.
Yeah.
So that is Jake's lesson of
there you have it.
What was that?
I said, there you have it.
Okay. Yeah. So back to my original question, how could we serve those brand new career engineers in adopting a mindset of that continuous growth, and the kind of the battle cries that we have right in this podcast.
Hey, my fellow impactful engineers. If there's one thing that you could do to help out this community, it's to keep listening to the podcast, but also if you found value in it, to share it with one person, give us a 5-star review, or even leave a text review. It'll only take a few seconds of your time. Find that person that you think could enjoy some of this or learn from it, and pass on the good word. Now back to the show.
Yeah. Never realize that what you are going to... I've never tried to formulate this statement before, Steve. Give me a second.
Okay.
We are distracted. People have always been distracted. It's not more today and less so a long time ago, whatever. People are distracted.
Mm-hmm.
The less distracted you can be, and the more committed to one thing that you can be, the better the outcome you're going to achieve. It's just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, if you think...
So,
yeah, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
So like to wrap up my battle cries over this whole series that we've done with the Impactful Engineer, it's just make time to get through these things for a long period of time, and you'll see the result. You can't just, I tried this week and I didn't see anything happen, didn't change my mind or anything, so I'm going to try something else for a week. And then that didn't work. And then it was vacation. And then I like going out on, Fridays and Saturdays and then drinking. And then I got to play my video games. And then I got to read all the news. And then I've got to fight with this person about something that doesn't fucking matter. And then then maybe I'll think about this. And then, well, nothing's changed. So the thing that I was trying to do has no effect. So I tried to take Jake's advice and implement this strategy, but nothing's happening. Like, we've got to just give ourselves a chance. Like, give yourself a chance. I could tell you that stripping away all of the distractions and all of the noise has helped so much. And then, like, people feel guilty, I think, because they're like, well, I should be knowledgeable of this. Like, a big one for me when people talk to me about, like, I'll eventually go out and there's like small talk and people want to talk about the football game and how their fantasy league's doing, or they want to talk politics. And did you read the 1,015 executive orders that have gone out and peeled them all down? Have you listened to this? What do you think about that? And it's all this like pop culture and or latest trends and or political furor and I'm just like, I don't really know. I could formulate an opinion. Do you want to discuss it back and forth and break it down? Not really. Just wanted to get your opinion on this hot take. And it's like, well, why? And I haven't been paying attention to any of that. I don't have a fantasy football team. So waste of my fucking time. I'm trying to build a business that means something, that is useful. I have stripped out everything. Oh, well, shouldn't you be knowledgeable? How would you know who to vote for? Like, it's your duty. It's your responsibility to know all these things. And then it doesn't sound like you have a life. Like, don't you do fun things? And I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of fun shit. I'm a happy dude. Like, I'm a very happy guy.
Hey,
and I think it's because I've stripped out all the bullshit that you're trying to talk about right now, and I don't care either.
Yeah.
Like, that's great for them and have fun. But for me, right. And I used to be that, Steve.
I know.
Of course.
Yeah. And,
but I'm just not right now. I'm trying to focus.
And what you need to strip changes for what your goals are. Right.
Yeah.
What works for you may not work for me even, or whatever, insert engineer. It's all about, okay. So when you're trying to figure this all out, like you just graduate, you need to think of, okay, where do I want to be and what would it take to get there? And then emulate that action plan and remove all of the distractions that add very little value to the ultimate goal that you're trying to pursue. It doesn't mean you have to completely cut out everything, but just know and understand that it's a ratio, right? The amount of success that you're going to find is directly correlated to the amount of distractions that you give into. So if you went 0 distractions and you found your purpose and your happiness in the pursuit of the goal that you're after, you're going to be extremely happy because you're going to be extremely focused on your goal. And B, you're most likely going to hit that goal, whatever that may be. So just audit yourself and your goals and where you want to find your purpose, and take out all of the distractions, whatever they could be. If having a family is a distraction, okay, maybe that's not right for you. If having a family is a core tenet of your goal, then 100% pursue that and integrate it into your purpose, right? It's going to be different for everyone. You eliminated alcohol completely because that was not conducive to your purpose. Now, in my career, I have to entertain, overseas vendors. And so there's a tiny bit of alcohol involved there, but do I drink it all the time on the weekends and all that kind of stuff? No, because it doesn't serve a purpose. So it's, it varies depending on who you are and what your goals are. So, and I just use the alcohol as a very just clear and cut and dry, right?
Just know which one to engage in and which one not to.
And be okay with it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, be okay with it. And who gives a shit what other people say? Like, oh, you don't drink, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you don't come out and party, or you don't come out and talk about football and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I don't. I have goals, and this is what I want to focus on.
Yeah. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they get upset with you.
Yeah. But yeah.
What did that guy say? He said that your preferences are just different.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I understand that you prefer to live your life a different way than I prefer. And that makes total sense.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That's all you got to say.
I know.
Yeah, and it's right now too. It's like we have so many years,
Mm-hmm.
I've spent 37 years on this planet, and I've had a ton of fun, and I've done so many things, and my priorities have shifted. And right now, I'm just this is the priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's all right. So back to the beginning of your career, it's okay to focus. It's okay to get rid of distractions.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And it's one of the things I like about impactful engineering and the culture that we're trying to build is, it makes it so much easier to focus on your goals and eliminate distractions when you surround yourself with other like-minded individuals. So find the other younger engineers that are hungry for their career growth or starting a business or, whatever insert scenario you want to be in, and make friends with those people. It's okay to start distancing yourselves from your high school buddies that, just like to go drinking and watch football games all day long. I feel like we're picking on football a little bit, but that's okay.
You could tell what what my major distraction was for a long time.
but
drinking and watching football.
But still, it's you will find a new block of friends, and you want to surround yourself in that type of crowd, because that's what's going to accelerate your growth. Because they will push you, you will push them, and you will find success in your larger goals. And then eventually you'll drop those friends too. And it doesn't mean you're like, oh, you're not my friend anymore, goodbye, fuck you. It's more like, hey, I'm hanging out with this dude over here a little bit more often. We could still touch base here and there. Well, maybe have a dinner, etc. But you'll just start drifting away. And that's okay, because every phase of life, you're going to be going up the ladder of your ultimate goals, and you're going to have to, phase out old friends and accept new ones. And there's going to be that time period in the middle where you don't have any friends, and that's okay too. You just have to keep focusing on your goals.
Yeah. And you can chase balance too. If that's you, that's fine. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Whatever your goal is,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to chase ultimate balance and whatever that means for you, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Go. Just know that if what you really want to do is be a fantastic, making tons of money, have a bunch of options, influential, impactful engineer, that if you chase balance and allow all these distractions to rule your life, someone else that is less balanced and more focused, less balanced, and I'm doing those in,
Mm-hmm.
air quotes here,
Yeah.
will pass you up. It's just reality. Like, like I've been big into fitness my whole life, and I have different goals for that. And longevity is the most important thing for me. So I am a relatively in shape, healthy 37-year-old male. Like, and I'm relatively strong. But someone who has focused on bodybuilding is going to be way more shapely, bigger muscles, more striation, more, vascularity. Like, everything's going to be way better than me.
Yeah.
Because they have focused on bodybuilding.
Yeah. And that's okay.
A sprinter is going to be fucking way faster than me because they have focused on sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
Just realize that if your goal is to be the best engineer, you're going to need, and the most impactful engineer, you're going to need to focus.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to operate as if that's your goal and eliminate
That's right.
the distractions that pull you backward.
That's it.
Yep. All right. So I'll wrap this up real quick. I know you learned something today, so I'm not even going to say if. And I know you know someone who needs to hear this. So share this show, share it on your social media. Just tell engineering friend of yours. It's the best way that we can grow this podcast. Leave a review as well, because that helps the engineers that you don't know find out how fantastic this information is and how needed it is for those who want to find success in their engineering career.